record. Broadcast. Hey everybody! I'd like to present the fabulous Amanda Abel! So let's start sending us some questions. Oh Lord. And we immediately start with the commercial. Hi Amanda. Woohoo! Say hi Amanda.
Hi Leon.
Hi Amanda.
Yeah, say hi to your audience.
Oh, hello everyone. So happy to be with you tonight.
Julie Egan says, hi Amanda, you look lovely. Doesn't she?
Sweet.
She always looks lovely. Did you see the pictures from her show Sunday night at River Rock Lounge? Very, very nice.
Oh my God, did we ever have a blast.
Yeah, you were so good. Tell me a little bit about cabaret. What's the difference between performing live in cabaret and doing theater?
Oh, it's interesting. The cabaret part, there's a lot more improv involved because so many things happen in the course of singing songs, or in my case, sometimes doing imitations, that you have a chance to kind of get in a couple of zingers that you didn't know were going to happen. But theater, we have that sometimes, but you've basically memorized a part, and the connection to the audience is still there, but you've got to say the same words every night.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, cabaret seems so... like you have to have a lot more nerve.
Well, you should know by now I have plenty of that. That doesn't bother me.
So, Corey, Cuddly Corey would like to know, how long does it take to get an impersonation, or can you just do it on the spot?
Sometimes, that's a great question, actually. Sometimes I can do it on the spot. It usually takes some work. I know that initially when I started doing Judy Garland, it was really easy, like almost second nature, to do her singing, but took actually quite a while to get her vocal inflections down when speaking. That really took some work. And what I did was just watch her television shows that I had that glorious 4 CD set, DVD rather, and just watched it over and over again, and then I would pause it and try to repeat what she just said to try to sound that just like her doing it. So it takes a little time.
Oh, you know what we should have done?
What?
I don't know if you could do it live, but we should have taken the clip of you doing Judy from Carved in Stone and shown a clip.
Yes.
Take a look, as Barbara Walters would
Yes.
say. Oh, I wish we could. Miss Carr, that's you, Catherine. KT wants to know, who is your biggest inspiration for what you do?
Oh gosh, can we say Judy again? We'll probably say her several times. And then, yes, she is definitely, as a performer, has been my greatest inspiration. I mean, she could do it all. She was if there's a quadruple threat, that's what she was.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite Judy Garland movie?
Wow. I would probably say A Star is Born, followed closely by Easter Parade.
Oh, good, lots of questions. How long have you been in the game, so to speak? Julie Egan would like to know. I'm assuming she means in show business?
In show business? Oh, that wonderful term. A quarter century. Yes, because my career goes back to New York, so that was, a long time before I was even here. I had to kind of actually start all over again because my New York connections were not who I know here.
You've stunned people. They can't, like the 20th century. No way. What? No?
I love you all very, very much.
Julie also says that you would make a great Barbara, too.
I do Barbara.
Do you do Barbara? I haven't seen your Barbara.
I did Barbara at the River Rock. Oh, did you leave already? Oh, excuse me.
Her last. Oh! I saw 2 out of 3 sets, ladies and gentlemen. So oh well.
I did do Barbara, and I was up for, actually, this is kind of a very little known fact. I was up for the job of looping Miss Streisand in her latest movie, and it wasn't a singing role, just speaking, because La Streisand apparently doesn't loop her own movies.
Really? Don't tell
I'm
anybody.
letting cats out of bags.
It's just
right
between
now.
us. It's just
Yes.
friends here tonight. So Cuddly Corey would like to know, what was your favorite scene from season 1? Since you were in 2, that would be an easy.
Well, friends, you know what? I would have to see like the breakdown of the shows because I loved each individual show, so I sometimes don't know which
episode
scene is in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I don't know if I can.
Have you seen the profile picture on the Lydia Lasker Facebook page?
I have.
Cuddly got that. I don't know how he got that isolated from that scene, but it cracks
I love
me
it. Oh yeah,
up.
that was really funny. That was a captured moment, indeed.
Jason Stuckless would like to know, did you have professional training?
Yes. I trained at Emerson College in theater and NYU, and had voice training both in New York and here in LA.
So Julie says, "Whoa, I believe that she is a bit of a diva?" Question mark. But I don't.
Who's a bit of a diva?
Well, diva's not necessarily a bad word.
No.
Do you not like the word diva?
No, because no. You know what? It generally implies. Maybe she meant Streisand.
Ah,
That could be.
yeah.
And she is. But you know what? Sometimes if somebody says, lovingly, like, oh, diva, like as though expressing something about your talent, then it's funny and cute. But diva can sometimes represent somebody who always has to get their own way, and they're like a little, bitchy or something, and that's so not me. I promise you. I'm a team player.
But Amanda does have her own line of skincare products. Can you see that on camera? Oh, we'll wait, the tape delay, I don't see it yet. Can you see that? Diva. No, that's actually mine. That's what Amanda's. Okay, let's. I'm buying other questions. Julie loves the last shot. Your face was priceless. The last shot of the.
That was fun. Oh
and
my
it's
God.
Katie's favorite too. And she did mean Barbara.
Yes, I just heard a whole story today about her at the Kennedy Center Honors. Idina Menzel sang "Don't Rain on My Parade," and she was so nervous to be singing for Streisand. She said, "It's been my idol forever, and this was my big moment to perform for my idol." And she said, "I rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed," and she said afterwards she was seated at the table with Streisand, and she said for the first hour and a half she didn't say anything to her at all, and after that she kind of peered over and she said, "Did you sing something tonight, honey?" And she said, "Yes, I sang 'Don't Rain on My Parade' for you." She said, "Oh, yeah, you were good. I didn't have my glasses on. I couldn't tell."
No, oh God. Corey would like to know, is the Boston Globe Trophy you won for Best Actress heavy?
Do you know what? It isn't a trophy. He's very sharp. He is very sharp.
Does his homework.
No, it was actually it was the one through the newspaper when the Boston Globe lists their awards. So it was just on paper.
Was the newspaper heavy?
The newspaper was heavy because I bought out all the issues. That's why it was heavy.
And everybody, if I miss your question in the order it's coming up, just retype it again and I'll get to it. Julie Egan would like to know, anything exciting coming up for your character next season? Love interest, perhaps?
Well, I'm still waiting for that. I mean, that's up to Leon. I don't call the shots on that. But we do have other exciting things coming up.
Yeah, you can tell them a little bit.
We're going to be doing a wedding scene, and I will be singing at the wedding.
Yay!
The gayest songs you'll ever want to hear.
And we get to see a bit of Lydia's cabaret act.
Yes. We'll put it all together. It'll be fun.
And we have a great scene near the end of the season. Unfortunately, we hear you more than see you until like the second half of the season. But we have a great scene coming up where you sort of, what's the expression? You kind of explain it all to Nathan. And
I'm always explaining it.
Well, that's true.
Because Nathan doesn't get it.
No, he doesn't. Let me scroll up a bit to make sure to do. Katie says you are a diva only in the most positive of ways, dear lady.
Aww.
And aren't you on Glee? Corey wants to know. She should be.
I
Oh my
would
God!
love to be on
You
Glee.
would be like a great nemesis for Jane Lynch. Could you see the two of them going at it?
Oh my God, I would love it.
Hold on.
The thing is, though, they would have to put me on an apple box because she's way tall.
Yeah, she's huge. Wow, we just got a lot of questions. I'm scrolling up to get them all. Wow.
The popular Amanda Abel.
Oh yes,
Unlike
that's what I like.
I'm in the dark kids. What? Potty mouth. Popcorn ready. What is all this? I don't. Julie's paranoid. Are we being censored? What is all this stuff about? Okay. Kidding. I'd love a glass of wine too, myself, Katie. We don't smoke in our house. Okay. Oh, that this is way before the show. Okay.
I will tell you that in this household, they do something really spectacular. They turn wine into water. You don't often see that happen.
And Katie does mention that the Sunday edition of the Boston Globe is always heavy.
Julie says that she should sing Go Back Up There.
I know. Oh, we've got this commercial, ladies and gentlemen. You may be singing a commercial or not. We're getting a commercial now.
Let's go back up because Julie asked a question about a certain song.
So the commercials will be over shortly, and we'll resume. I hate how it does that. Come on.
Well, this is a good question.
No, that's already.
Who's your inspiration?
Let's start from the bottom. Okay, again, if we missed your question, just retype it again.
Okay, Julie said you should sing Barbara's "Oh Man, I Love Him So." Do you like that?
Oh,
do you like
I love
Do you like
that.
Babs?
I love that, and I do that song absolutely.
But you're not going to do it now.
Oh, she wants it right now? Oh, okay, I will. Just a little bit.
Do a couple of bars.
Oh my man, I love him so. He'll never know. Oh, my life is just despair. But I don't care when he takes me in his arms. The world is bright. Oh, what's the difference if I say I'll go away when I know I'll come back on my knees someday? For whatever my man is, I am his forevermore.
Yes! Crazy.
Conley is tossing roses at the screen. She meant to sing it for the wedding sequence, but this is better. We actually can't afford it for the wedding sequence.
Did you always want to know that you wanted this as a career? Who asks that question?
That is Katie.
I did always know that. When I was very little, and I was like 4 years old, my mother used to say that you'd ask little kids what they wanted to be, and it was a fireman, a policeman, a ballerina, and I would say, a star! And that was all thanks to Ethel Merman.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So she was another influence?
She was the first influence, and there was just there was nothing more dynamic. Nothing. I saw her first when I was 4 years old, and I never forgot it.
Gypsy. What did you see her in?
Gypsy. Yes. Gypsy. Not many people got a chance to see the first and the greatest.
I don't remember the name because it scrolled up, but one of the questions was, have you ever wanted a role in a musical and not gotten it?
Oh my God, yes, like every other week.
Welcome to show business.
No, there were a couple along the way, and a lot of it Unfortunately, there are two strikes. One is precasting, because a lot of times we go into auditions thinking that it's an open door, and it's not. And they're required to have auditions, and you think you actually have a fighting chance, and you don't, because that job was already promised to somebody else, and they just can't tell you. So that's the unfortunate thing. And then the other is for roles that I would like to do, sometimes require more dancing than I'm capable of doing.
That's right, when we did Carved in Stone.
The secret is out. Yes.
Well, I remember your reaction when I said, oh, and then you meet with the choreographer, and you're like, choreographer? No.
And then I made the face that I made at the end of the scene.
Oh, that was the
that's
face.
That's the face, yes. I have the choreography face when I become glazed.
Did you love the old movie musicals as a kid, and did they influence you?
Oh my God, I love them so much. Actually, one of the best things that my mother ever did for me was taking me to this little movie theater in New York called the Thalia, that was off of 94th Street and Broadway, and it was a revival house, and they showed all the old great black and white movies, and whenever there was something playing there that she knew I would love, which started out with Gold Diggers of 33, let's say, and 42nd Street, all the big Busby Berkeley musicals. That was where I got to see them on a big screen.
Oh, you saw Busby Berkeley on a big screen.
Oh, they were amazing. They were amazing, and I would never have seen them otherwise, because they weren't on DVDs because I'm that old.
Cuddly Corey has a very, very a question steeped in irony. Mm-hmm. Do you have any pets?
I'm down to 7 cats. Down to.
And I've been to her house, and it's amazing. You would never know you even have one cat.
My house is sparkling, I tell you.
What's your secret?
I scoop the coop on a religious basis. But I'm a huge animal lover. In fact, I would have dogs too if my apartment building doesn't allow it. But I do love my cats. They're all rescues. I'm all about the rescue. I've never purchased an animal in my life. There's something wrong with each and every one of them. One has 3 legs, another has no tail. One friend of mine came over and said, "Oh yeah, Amanda, she doesn't get an animal unless it's missing some vital organ."
Katie would like to know, what advice would you give to young people who want to do what you do?
Get all the training that you possibly can. There was a wonderful camp called Stage Door Manor, where kids can start out learning shows and really doing them as though they're in summer stock to get a real foothold in the business. And of course, Stage Door is only in one place, but I'm sure there are many other camps like that for young kids. And say start with that from the get-go. I wish I had actually gone to professional children's school. I didn't, and it would have been great, because there are 2 things that I wished along the way that I would have done. One was read music. I get along great with my ear, but still it would have been a good thing. And I might not have had such a fair choreography if I had started out with that earlier.
You have perfect pitch, though, don't you? I mean, you can sing a cappella flawless.
I don't know whether it would be called perfect. I believe it's called relative pitch, but yes, I can.
It's relatively perfect.
It's relatively perfect. But yes, I can pick my key, out of the air and just and start singing it, which is really. I'm very grateful.
Oh, well, you were talking about auditioning and precast. You were precast in our show.
In this one?
Yeah.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
When it works in your favor, it's great.
It was written for you, in fact. How tall are you? Jason would like to know.
I am 5'1".
Really? You seem bigger.
I do?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I guess I'm happy with that.
It's that big persona.
Is it the big persona? I'm really super short. Taller than Judy, but that's not saying much.
Well, the bar of soap's taller than you. Julie Egan says you are so compassionate. Corey says he sounds like a dying yak when he sings. Julie says you were great on My Man, I Love Him So. You also look like you could pick up dance with ease.
Glad you think so. What I feel that I can do actually is move well. I have a good sense of musicality, so that if somebody told me to do something on the spot that would look good with the song, that I could do. But as they say at the beginning of a chorus line, when that director goes, a 5, 6, 7, 8, my palms are sweating. I said, oh my God, how do they live through that fear?
You know, when I was in college, they had us do this like intensive showbiz thing, and they like simulated a Broadway dance musical audition. And after about 5 minutes, this actress and I hid downstairs in the dressing room all through it, because it's like, we're not going through this humiliation. This is bullshit.
I totally get it.
We don't want to be dancers. Why would we have to go through this ridiculousness?
But as I say, you learn fears as you grow up. And if you're just starting out as a kid and you really want to do this, then you have to learn. You may not do all of them great. As you grow up, you realize what your strengths are. But if you start learning them before fear sets in, you're going to do great. That's my feeling.
Katie says, thanks for the advice about going into show business. Her little one loves to dance and sing, and she thinks that is her passion. And that's great that a parent sees that and embraces it instead of trying to squelch it.
Absolutely. And I say, go for it. Everybody wants to say, don't go into show business. Why? I mean, there's heartache, but there's heartache in not following your heart.
Being a lawyer, there's heartache.
Right.
I mean,
there was heartache for me in being in an office. That's why I'm not there.
Here's a question. Are you married and do you have children?
I do have children. I have a child. I have my fabulous daughter, Allison, who I love and adore. I am not currently married. I am on the separation situation right now because it's not finalized, but it will be, and when it is, you're all invited to the party.
Corey would like to know, how do you like LA? Would you move, and if so, where?
I love LA. I love it, and I really wouldn't move at this point unless we have a huge earthquake and we're moved against our will. But I moved here from New York, where I never thought I would leave, but I hate the winter. Hate it. I'm like allergic to cold. I despise it. Have I made myself clear on that? And it was also a very hard life. Traveling by subway and being like, that intimately close with total strangers. I'm not fond of that.
Oh, I missed that.
Ooh, I hate it.
Anyway.
But yeah, so those are the only two places I've really lived in. I would only be going back to New York if Broadway beckoned. That you don't say no to. But beyond that, I'm sticking right here. I love it.
Julie, getting back to dance again, Julie Egan says it's the way that you quietly took off out of Nathan's office. Grace, baby, so elegant.
Oh, you're so sweet. But I think I was walking when I did that. And that at least I'm capable of.
You were very elegant, though, the way you shut the door, like you were really trying to be quiet.
Oh, yes.
And I love that scene.
Thank you for noticing that.
Cuddly would like to know, do you still get butterflies?
In general, or when performing?
She just wakes up and butterflies are flying all around her bed. Like.
Well, that's only when you take Lunesta. I hope you I do on occasion, and mainly I have to tell you, it's only especially if I'm in a show, if there's a lot of words. The show that I did, The Little Dog Laugh, was a huge part. It's a lead, and it was a big undertaking. And right before going on that, there were some butterflies because it was like, okay, here we go. And once you are out there and running, you have to keep on going because there's no stopping.
And you had a lot of scenes where you were on the phone,
right?
With with no one, it wasn't like someone else was on the other side of the stage doing the other side of the conversation.
Exactly.
You were carrying the whole scene.
And that's
and they were long.
But I think that's the only time that I get butterflies. But if I get on stage, once I'm there, I'm really comfortable. Especially with an audience, I love to play off my audience and have fun with them. And that's also why I work with an accompanist. I love to play off the energy of somebody who's sitting at the piano. You will never, ever, ever find me singing to tracks. Hate that.
We have another commercial. Da-dee-dee, the same woman just can't get enough of this mattress. I wonder if everyone else is seeing the same commercial. Okay, I'll get caught up on questions. We should show clips during these commercials or
Wouldn't that
something.
be great? Yes, it would have been great to have the Carpenter Stone thing.
One thing we should do, actually, because we'll probably do live chats at the end of next season, we should do it like Actor Studio.
Yes.
And just do it from, you were born here, you did this, that's what you did, and would you guys like that? Would you all, and then we could do that little questionnaire.
Yes. And do what's your favorite curse word?
What is your
I love
favorite
that.
curse word?
Cocksucker.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Jessica Lange's favorite swear word was cocksucker. And somebody else, Holly Hunter.
And Holly Hunter.
Yeah.
But she said cocksucker.
Or
Cocksucker.
cocksucker. Or, yeah, you do it. Do you prefer film or stage? Julie would like to know.
Stage.
Why?
Film is a lot of sit around and wait. And I think it's much harder I could do it, but it's much harder to get back your momentum when you're kind of been sitting around like this, and then you gotta be on again like that.
Yeah.
And stage is right there in the moment happening. And you also have that response from the audience that's just vital, I think.
You feed on it.
You do.
I like in Faye Dunaway's autobiography, she talks about how film sort of takes it out of you, and doing theater kind of gives it
Brings
back.
it, yes, that's absolutely true.
I totally agree with that. Oh my god, I love how this thing scrolls up on its own instead of...
It's got a mind of its own. As most
Oh,
computers do.
Julie would like to know, and I don't know if it's... Oh, Jason wants to know, no Dancing with the Stars in your future?
Oh my god. Do you know, that's another one that makes me sweat. I don't watch any reality shows, and that I don't really consider reality, but I am completely addicted to Dancing with the Stars.
Are you really?
Completely addicted. I wouldn't miss a second of it, and part of it is for that reason that when I see people, not the ones who are really dancers who say that they're not dancers, because that's bullshit, but the people who I really feel are making that honest effort to dance, like for the first time, I am shocked and amazed. And I always think, could I really do this if I were asked? Or would you see like Max, like with the scene from Psycho, just stabbing me over and over and over again, like I did with the water. Okay.
On-set acting. She can't hold her water. Drinking problem. And it scrolled back up to the top again. Hot dress from the show the other night, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Victoria's Secret, my home away from home.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We have to go to thrift store shopping one of these days.
I'm not going thrift shop for bras.
No, bras,
no.
No. Do any thrift stores actually sell bras?
I think they do, and that's kind of gross. But anyway, yes, the other thrift stores, absolutely.
Julie would like to know, and God bless you, Julie, and I don't know if if she did or if I just drafted her, but what made you fall in love with Old Dogs and New Tricks?
Leon.
Oh!
Seriously. No, I was, when he first said he was writing this thing, as we all know, it was back when he had this extended, I don't know if you can call it a vacation.
Sabbatical.
It was a sabbatical, yes, that's good. In back home in Indiana.
Which
And
ended up feeling like exile.
and he was writing away, and he said, I'm doing this show with this, I've written this part for you and everything. I had never seen any of Leon's writing. I had no idea what it was. And I was so thrilled when I saw the first script, and I said, this is so good. It's so funny and sharp and witty. And I said, I just knew that this was a happening thing, and it was going to move forward, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Not to say I don't love everybody else in the cast, too, because I do.
Oh, Julie, if you didn't hear that answer, we're also recording this, and it'll be posted on our Ustream page. I think as soon as the broadcast is over, so you can go back. Thank you, Corey. Oh, you're sweet. You're also nice. What are with the French commercials? Oh, that's about commercials.
That Ustream thing, it sounds like, you're giving somebody a command. Ustream! No, Ustream! No,
I said Ustream. We all stream for Ustream. Do you play Facebook games?
I do. I am the word scraper queen.
Really? You do?
Yes. I love it so much. Yes. I play every day, constantly. I have two main folks that I play with. Fellow performer Jerome Elliott in Palm Springs, very sharp player, and my very dear friend David Traub, who is like near genius level. The days that I actually win when I play with David Traub, I'm on like cloud 9 because I don't even believe that it's happening. He plays word scraper in French. Okay,
oh my God.
So I know. And he does like all these 7-letter words. It's crazy. But he's great fun to play with, and we make very funny comments to each other in between. And yes, I love that game.
Okay, we have a really serious question.
Ooh, serious.
I'll try to deliver it with the proper respect. Seriously, why are you not on Twitter?
I was really waiting for that one. I don't know. I sort of feel very drawn to Facebook, and I feel like I communicate with everybody that I love right then and there. So I just thought it would be redundant. Is it not? No? Am I missing
Actually, I
something?
went to a social media workshop, and there's this whole thing about the different websites. Like on Facebook, you say, "I'm eating a donut." Oh no, wait. Facebook is, "I love donuts." Twitter is, "I am eating a donut." On Instagram, it's, "Here's a picture of me eating a donut." On Pinterest is, "Here's a picture of the donut I like." And on Google Plus is, "I'm a Google employee who's eating a donut."
I don't remember all that.
That's very funny, and I guess I guess I should. I don't know.
It could. I've gotten to where I kind of like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm always stirring up the shit crap storms on Facebook and Twitter. It's like, you can just post outrageous stuff.
You're very outspoken.
You
have a lot of anger.
Have you noticed?
You have a lot of anger.
I don't have anger. Well, I do have
Yes, you
anger. Well, we shouldn't go into all of that here. It's your show, not mine. Although, now that I have this cam thing, I should be like the liberal Rush Limbaugh and just do these radical.
Just do rants.
Have conservative people call in. I can say, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot," and hang up on them.
Well, or as I like to say for anybody who remembers the great old days of SNL, "Jane, you ignorant slut."
Try these on, Connie Chung.
Right.
Oh God, we're showing seriously how old we
Seriously.
are. Oh my God.
It's
And
all
we
right.
saw those in reruns. Corey says Twitter is great for news, which that is true. I mean, like when Michael died and Farrah died, it seems like
Right.
whenever someone dies, I always
If the
see it on
news
Twitter.
isn't about me, I don't really care.
You need Google Alerts, Amanda Abel.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was somebody that named Amanda Abel-Love who actually got ahead of me on Google, and I was pissed. I used to be the top person on Google for Amanda Abel. Who is she?
Sucks.
Who is she?
I don't
She's
know.
a nobody.
She's a nobody.
And Katie, I agree with you, Katie. Twitter is great for like sharp and witty sarcasm. There's some like celebrity accounts I follow that are really funny. And Morgan Fairchild.
And Morgan Fitch.
No, listen, you think she's like this ditz?
No, I don't
No,
think
she's
She
very smart.
is
I don't
so
think she's a
political.
ditz at all.
She should run for
She's a very
president.
smart
She
cookie.
is so into
Smart
the.
cookie.
Okay, what is Corey would like to know what currently is your favorite Broadway show? And by that I assume he means that's currently playing or a recent Broadway show.
Well, and it would have to be the recent one that I, saw here. I think because I haven't been to see, Broadway sadly, in a while. But I did see Billy Elliot, which came here from Broadway, and I loved it. It was spectacular. And I'm going to go see Book of Mormon shortly. Can't tell you yet whether I love it or not, but I think I will.
Yeah, it's gotten some great reviews. I think I would like it. And we have pause and questions, so let me ask a question. Tell us who your grandfather is. You're sort of from a showbiz dynasty. Actually, you can start with the grandfather and talk about your parents too, because
Yes.
I mean.
And you just wanted to get in the word dynasty. I know that. My grandfather was Eddie Cantor. I'm very proud to say, because I not only loved him dearly, but I do believe that talent is inherited, and I do believe that a great deal of it came from him.
You certainly got his eyes.
Yes, thank you.
And you got his positive spirit, and I think your compassion for...
Absolutely. I'm probably even more proud of the things that he did to try to better society than even his brilliant career, because he was at the forefront of civil rights, nearly lost his job over it.
Yeah, and this was back before civil rights was even a phrase, right?
Yeah, because this was...
like the 40s? 30s?
Well, no, his television show was the 50s.
Okay.
And the situation there was that he had on a singer, a black woman, and the network said that she had to play a maid on the show or they wouldn't have her on. And he said, absolutely not. He said, she's a singer, that's what she does, and she's going to sing. And they said, well, then we'll be letting you go. He said, oh, you're going to let her go? Well, then you may as well let me go, too, because I'm just as soon lose the show. And they got scared then because they were going to lose their star. So she came on and she sang, and she didn't have to play a maid. And it was just these little, battles won. And then, of course, he invented the March of Dimes with President Roosevelt. President actually initially was hoping to get everyone in the nation to put a dollar in an envelope to send it to the White House to cure infantile paralysis. And my grandfather said, not everybody has a dollar, but almost everybody has a dime. And if we made it a March of Dimes, maybe we could cure this thing. And they did.
And it still exists today,
It still exists.
It still exists, the March of Dimes.
They do those boards where you can stick the coins in.
That's right. And they still do wonderful work. I'm very proud of that. And amazingly, I have to tell you, between the March of Dimes and his incredible career that spanned vaudeville, radio, television, film, everything, that all of that information combined, when presented to the post office, they said he was not worthy of a stamp. Can you believe that? I mean...
Do you think it's I
don't get it. I just don't
get it.
I just think it crosses the desk of somebody who just didn't know Eddie Cantor and didn't bother to look at the material. I don't know, it just makes me angry. Let's not be angry. Let's talk about something happy.
And your mom is an actress?
No, she's not.
Well, I know she's a
my mother,
playwright.
She is a composer. My mother has composed music for several off-Broadway shows, for reviews in New York. In fact, she's won the Mac Award, which is for cabaret back in New York for some of her scores. And she has written books. She has recently written a book about her mother, Ida Cantor, called Never Wear Silver in Winter, which was one of my grandmother's sayings that she just made up. We don't know why she said you're not supposed to wear silver in winter. She said she just proclaimed that.
It's like white after Labor Day.
Yes, but she just made that up. She said lots of strange things. She said eating fried eggs gives you styes too. She made that up too. But
doesn't mean she was wrong though. She could have been right.
No. But my mother's she's a wonderful writer, and her music is beautiful.
Jason says he bet you said cocksucker about that stamp. And Corey wants to know, is that a stripper pole?
Is it? Oh no, I'm not doing Gypsy this week. But I will. I'm sure again. It's my favorite.
And speaking of Gypsy, Katie wants to know, what is your dream project you would love to do at some point?
That would be Mama Rose from Gypsy. Yeah. Absolutely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
You'd be so good.
And that's another thing with the casting with that, I have to say that generally speaking, big women have played the role. Ethel Merman, Tyne Daly, Patti LuPone, Bette Midler. Well, she's short though. But she's
Bernadette Peters.
Bernadette Peters, you know what? And here's the sad part. She was terrible. No,
Oh, what's she?
Bernadette was. She is another small person. She's kind of around. She's 5'3". She's close to my height. But I have to tell you, I think her interpretation was horrible. But the.
That's just between us.
Yes.
You know, it's just us friends.
But I love her. I love her. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me. Bernadette. I'm going to hate mail over that. I love her. I don't think it was the right. That was the right role for her.
Oh, good night, Julie. Julie's gotta
Good
go.
night, Julie.
It's EST
Night,
for
Julie.
her.
Bye.
She's on the East Coast.
But yes, that would be my dream role. And I think a lot of times when I've auditioned, they interpret my petite size as being somehow not capable of being that kind of woman. And it's just such a great role. I would just love to play that.
Why do you think it's always large women? Because she was such a larger-than-life
Yes,
character?
yes, a larger-than-life character, and also because the iconic person who started it was Ethel Merman. And so everything kind of, took off from there.
But there were lots of, like Kristen Chenoweth, there are lots of tiny dynamos.
I know. I'm just saying. I would like to break that box and head for it. I'd love it.
Would you ever play Mame?
I would love to play Mame.
Can I be Vera Charles?
I would love that. And the thing I love about that, going back to the choreography thing for a minute, is that a lot of times in Mame, you can just stand there in a glorious gown and you're just surrounded by fabulous gay boys dancing around you.
And they pick you up
and they pick me
carry
up
you.
and put me on a piano or a banister. I love that. That's my kind of show.
Corey would like to know. Oh, Katie, love Andy Mame. So do I.
Yes.
Corey would like to know. Well, and actually, so would I.
Yeah.
Where would you like to see Old Dogs go in the future?
Well, I'd like to see it go on regular
TV.
television as a sitcom because, I think we just all have a greater chance of being seen and having Leon's work known to the world. That's the way to go. The networks are still money.
How many years would you be willing to sign on for?
Is there a lifetime supply?
Oh, cool.
Yes, absolutely.
And do you think we should, after maybe our third season, try to do a feature film or wait longer?
That's very interesting. You know what I think we should wait and see? How they do it with Arrested Development.
Yes, that's
And
going to
if
be
we see if that pans out, then we'll know what to do.
Yeah.
We'll take our cues from that. Because there are a lot of similarities with the quirky, witty kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I even considered stealing their thing, how they do the fake next week on coming. And
Yes.
I think that's
Yes.
hysterical. And it took me about 3 weeks of watching it to go like, wait, didn't they say last week that it never happened? I just love that. What is your inspiration for Lydia? Katie would like to know.
That would be the Cy Coleman song, which I originally alerted Leon to when he first wrote the character, which is "You Can Always Count on Me" from City of Angels, and it's it's again the long-suffering assistant, and she says. I don't need a map, I naturally head for the dead-end street. You can always count on me. And every, verse is going on in that vein. So, yeah, that's the inspiration. I said, that and Miss Marmalstein.
Yeah, and what was that? How did you answer the phone?
As her?
Uh-huh.
Everybody loves me, Miss Marmalstein, Miss Marmalstein.
Oh no, maybe it was from Gypsy. You did it one night when you were over.
Oh, yes. No, that was from Gypsy.
I'm confusing my gay musical. Sorry.
Yes, we said Mr. Granzicker's office.
If Lydia could get a guest star as a love interest, who would you like? Someone straight. I think that goes without saying.
Yes. Oh my God, he's my favorite man. Why am I blanking on him?
You'd like to blank on it.
Yes, Scott Bakula.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Like fine wine. You know, Corey, I think we just came up with a new hunk for the day because I
Yeah.
completely spaced him, and he just looks great.
He's just, I mean, wow. That's
Funny, sexy, good actor.
everything. He's got it all. Great voice.
Oh yeah, he's a
Beautiful
great
voice.
singer.
He's a great singer.
And he's straight, and he's a great. Well, I mean, I assume that he is. He's
Yes.
married with children.
Yes.
So. Corey would like to say hi to Lawrence and waves.
Sweet.
Actually, would you all like Lawrence to sit in for me so I can go have a cigarette?
Oh, he's unbelievable.
It's been nearly 35 seconds since my cigarette.
And I'm going to force you to go into withdrawal.
Lawrence! Yep, there he is. This is weird. This is a time delay between what we're...
I know, it's a huge time delay. It's weird. It's spooky.
So...
No, I'm not taking your place. You're finishing this up. Can you believe, folks, that he can't wait?
It's unbelievable. We're going to make
This
you tap a
program
vein.
to have
Well, because it's
A
like,
cigarette.
it's kind of nervous making.
No, it isn't. We're having a good time.
I'm having a good time.
Is everyone having a good time?
Okay, Corey, I will not move. I will not move.
Hi,
All
Corey.
right,
Thanks for
that's
saying
better.
hello, Corey. Hi, everyone.
Jason is
Catherine,
having
are
a
you
good
there?
time.
Hello.
Katie's there. Julie had to go to sleep. And we're missing Super Julie. She's out of state on business. So.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say we're missing Super Jew, and I was going to wonder who that was. I didn't know who that was.
This is Amanda's hour.
Oh gosh. So, what are the questions? Should we talk about how we first met?
Yes.
Well, should you talk about how we first met?
Well, I came to audition for Carved in Stone, and I knew that they were looking for somebody to play Judy Garland amongst other characters. So I came in ready to, tear the walls down with that. And I saw Leon sitting there. He looked at me, I looked at him, and we just exchanged this smile. And before anything transpired, I just said, I am going to be friends with this man for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come to find out he was thinking the same thing
Exactly
about me.
the same thing. It was like
Kismet.
recognizing someone that you've never met.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And she was the first
I feel like you
person.
should burst into song now.
She was the first person to audition, and the best. I knew right then that she was the one. Unfortunately, we had 3 more days of auditioning other people, and that. Ugh. But yeah, it was fate. Yes, it was fate. We had the best time doing that show
Did
together.
we?
Oh, tell them the opening night story. This is what a trooper Amanda Abel is. On the opening night of Carved in Stone.
My daughter, who's pregnant, was going to give birth. Her due date was our opening night. And long before that ever transpired, I laughed. I said, yeah, very funny. Well, one thing you're not going to do is have this baby on my opening night. And guess what? So Leon was panicking and thinking, well, do you want your understudy to go on? I mean, I would understand if you did. I said, no way. So I just called over to the hospital and I said, what's the situation? How many centimeters are you dilated? And she said 2. And I said, I'm going to go on and do the
And
show.
it was her first, right?
Yes.
So that takes forever.
So I knew it was going to. So we finished the whole show, no problem. And then, of course, I race over to the hospital where she was, still in labor at that point. And we were just taking pictures in the labor room. And I was thrilled because I still had all my theatrical makeup on and the false lashes. And I thought, well, my daughter looks like crap right now, but I look spectacular. So she had her little boy later that night, and I didn't have to miss the opening night, and everything went great. And look, and here we are today to tell the tale.
You've shocked Jason. You're a grandmother?
Yes, I
What
am.
a GILF. I won't actually say that phrase.
Oh! Wow. Well, thank
And
you.
there's some agreement there, too. Are any of your performances on YouTube? See,
Yes.
I got to the question. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Several, in fact, but 2 that I'm most proud of were from a cabaret show that I did at Sterling's a few years ago. I say a few years ago because if you look them up, you'll see that I had dark hair then. Don't be scared. We're not getting older, we're getting blonder. But I have 2 songs on there. One is A Summer in Ohio, which is a hilarious song from the last 5 years that I did. And another is Another Winter in a Summer Town, which is from Grey Gardens. And I'm very, very proud of those 2 clips. It was a really wonderful evening, headed by my musical director, Andy Howe, and what he called it the Manda Band that I had for that show. And he also did our musical, our CD for Carved in Stone in his studio. So I'm surrounded by a lot of talent that I'm very grateful for.
Katie wants to know, does your grandchild call you Gigi, gorgeous grandma? But you actually have...
No, actually, he calls me Gaga.
Oh, really?
So I guess I'm his Lady Gaga, I'm assuming.
I thought you were Glamma.
I loved Glamma. Leon named me Glamma, but it was actually, I think it was actually too hard for him to say.
Yeah.
When you're first,
L's are tough.
The L's are tough when you're just a little person. Gigi is actually my mother's name to him, because that's Grandma Gary, so that's where the Gigi comes in. See? Oh, so we didn't finish about the parentage.
Oh, right.
We're going to rewind.
Oh yeah, your dad. We
Yes.
didn't talk about your dad.
So my father,
The dynasty continues.
the
Say
other,
it again.
multi-talent, which you may know him from more than one thing, but his most famous thing is that he painted the portrait of Judy Garland that hung in the Palace Theater for decades, and it was then removed at one point and sent to the Museum of the City of New York, where it still stands or hangs, as the case may be.
This is it. Let me see if I can get it up there.
Oh, there we are. And that's
very famous.
That's it on
very
a magnet.
famous. And it's also it for those sharp-viewed viewers. It's hanging in Nathan's office, isn't it?
That's right. It's hanging in Nathan's office as well. So that's a very special. It was made into jigsaw puzzles. I mean, there was like a whole line of products based on the watches. This portrait came out to be, and it's the iconic portrait of her. Judy used it for the playbill of her 1967 appearance at the Palace, and it was on the billboards and everything. So it's very, very special. But then much, much, much later in life, when my father went back to acting, his first love, he also played the role of Guy Blank, which was Amy Sedaris's father in Strangers with Candy.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And at the age of 84, which is I believe when he started that out, he suddenly got like a cult following.
Yeah.
And the exciting thing for him is that when the DVDs came out, he was at a signing party at like a Barnes and Noble or something like that with the cast, and there was this line out the door of people, and they wanted to come for the big stars. No, they were all online going, "Where's Guy Blank? We want Guy to sign this," and it was thrilling for him.
And he was also a designer at one point.
He was a dress designer at one point. His designs were gracing the windows of Saks Fifth Avenue. And a particular design was gathered up by Loretta Young that she wore on her television show. We've yet to find the episode, but there is one where she's walking down the staircase in one of my father's
Have you tried the Paley Center? Maybe they have it.
My brother is on the trail of those things.
Okay.
He's
The family historian.
Yes, yes.
If you were, when you get a star on the Walk of Fame, whose would you like it to be next to?
Well, I think we should keep it in the family. It should be next to Grandpa.
Yeah.
And that could be at 3 different places, because he has it for radio, television, and film.
How many people have that?
Not too many.
There are, a couple. Right?
Yeah, there are a few. I mean, I couldn't,
I didn't know that. God, that's very impressive.
So there's a lot, and then, of course, his handprints are at Grauman's Chinese. That's kind of exciting, too.
That's so cool. Yeah, but tell the peeps about your website.
Oh, yes, I have. Well, I have amandaabel.com, where you can go to see various clips of me in different shows. If you care to, you can see me stripping in Gypsy. You can see me in Carved in Stone, and in other performances as Judy and Judy at the Stonewall Inn. There are several things in there, and then of course I have, like usual, the photos and my voiceover reels, so I could maybe make some money in this business. You know, that kind of thing.
Do you have clips from Carved in Stone on the site?
Yes.
I did. Oh my
Yes.
God! See, we could have shown.
Of
Give the address.
course.
Give the address.
It's www.amandaabel.com. And remember that I'm A-B-E-L, not L-E, or you won't get me.
But she's still quite able.
Yes.
Where do you find your diva line? Corey, can you be more specific?
Can we expand on
Yeah,
that?
expand on that question. Where do you find your diva line?
My diva line of clothing?
The diva? Oh, you mean the soap? No, that was a joke.
the
That was
soap.
actually
That's Leon's soap.
an actor
It's not
that
even mine.
an actor I did a play with actually gave me to me as a closing night party, and I tried to take it as a nice compliment.
Oh, it
but
is. It is.
yeah, it smells good. I should have used it. It's about
It's 500 years old. Don't even open it.
500 years old.
Well, it's a little older than you.
I haven't been in the business that long. Well, it's 9:04.
Have we talked for an hour?
have talked.
Oh my gosh, it's
For an
time
hour.
to sign off.
Wow.
Oh my God,
man.
Corey is hanging his head. Bro, any last questions? We'll give you 90 seconds to type any of the questions that we didn't get to, which is highly possible because this is the first time I've manned this solo, although Lawrence has been terrific help. Thank
But
you,
in the
Lawrence.
meantime, I'm so glad we had this.
Oh,
time
that is one something. No, let's not
together.
stop yet.
Just
talk
to
about
have a
yourself.
laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
Yay.
But we're not going yet.
Yes, Leon. Yes, Leon was running.
There's a P.S. Let's talk. We have to tie this in. I mean, let's
Oh, of
talk
course.
about your favorite film
All right.
choice, which is currently for auction.
Yes, currently for auction for Old Dogs and New Tricks. My pick was Cabaret, and it is the most spectacular film. And as I said, before there was Betty Ford, it was Cabaret. Liza at her very, very best. I mean everything, dancing, singing, her acting, brilliant, Bob Fosse direction, choreography. I mean, and it's the most beautifully put together film. You cannot stop watching it. If you start, you cannot stop. It's like a book you can't put down. You can't pause this. You can't even go to the bathroom.
And show them your autograph on the back so they see that it is indeed autographed.
Here
Well,
we are.
is it autographed
That's
on
right.
the jacket too?
And on the jacket, I think that's on the inside.
Oh, and a
Yes.
personalized note.
And personalized note.
Life is a cabaret, old chum. So be my old chum and bid on this.
And as a special bonus, you also get a copy of Amanda's CD,
Yes.
A Night of Erotica.
And
Which
that's here
I-
too.
that's-
yeah.
That's here too.
Yes, it is. We have so many CDs that this is a very special pile that I was able to find this in. Our CD pile is a bit.
Well, it's not even in a pile. It's just sitting there on the dining room table.
Did
Because
you
I
bring
brought
it? See, Jason, I told
I'm a
you.
schmarty
I
pants.
told
Come
you.
on.
The bonus
Here we
prize.
are.
The
Here
bonus
we are.
prize.
The bonus prize.
Put it up
Yes.
closer to the camera.
Neurotica, not erotica.
Yes.
Although, I've seen her in a dressing room, and it could
The
very
erotica
easily go the
comes
other way.
later.
There we go.
But you have to
Amanda
pay
Abel.
extra for that.
And see, that's her in that dark hair she was talking about.
Yes, that's how you'll see me. Oh, and this is another good shot. Let's get to that.
Oh, that's
I
a great
that,
shot.
yeah.
It's almost orgasmic. I had to say, because, I wrote that show. Ooh, it is orgasmic. It's a great CD.
It's really, really fun. This was recorded live. This is a live cabaret performance, and that's nerve-wracking. Cuddly's asking about that's nerve-wracking to record an entire album live. but a lot of great cuts, great show tunes and standards and special material and things to make you laugh and cry and do all sorts of emotional things.
And a great song called All the
Good Men Are Gay.
But
Because
she
I'm a
sang
firm
Sunday,
believer in that.
and she sang it Sunday night, and it's fabulous. I wish you all could have. Would it be illegal if we cammed a cabaret performance? Yeah, because we'd have to pay musical rights.
Oh, yes.
Will we have to pay for your barroom? Ignore that question. I just. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up, guys.
Okay.
Thanks so much. And just FYI, we start shooting in 4 weeks on October 5th for 10 episodes of season 2, which will debut in January on Wednesday nights. We'll have 10 episodes that we're spreading out over 12 weeks. Also, if you're in the LA area, on October, I believe it's the 12th and the 18th, or the 2 consecutive Mondays. That's when we're shooting our big wedding 2-parter. And if you're in LA and want to be an extra, send me an email and we'll work something out, because we want to have as many of our friends in attendance as
I might
possible.
sit in your lap while I'm singing.
There you go. Katie says it's been wonderful, Amanda. Corey says thank you, Amanda. Katie says you're a delight. There's just so many accolades, I can't keep up. So thanks again, and have a good night, everybody.
Nighty night.
Night.